just comments on the game. I mean, obviously, you're expected to win this game, but just comments on the game in general.
Yeah, so anytime you take an extended break, you're always curious, especially when you got a really young team and a new team, of how they're going to respond. And we had played some good basketball and a come from behind victory on the 22nd. Guys took some time off, and you're always curious as a coach is just how their response is coming back. But I thought practice was good, on the 26th, 27th, and 28th. Of course, in Southwest Oklahoma State, there's a team that they've got some ability and they've got some guys that can shoot some threes. So we were concerned about certain areas, but more than anything, in any game we play, there were some things that we wanted to do really well. And I thought we did some things nicely tonight. It was great to get a lot of guys in the game and get some experience, more experience for some younger guys, and to come away with a win.
And obviously, McBride really stood out, especially in the second half. I mean, he has a career high. He's 4 or 5 field goals, 2 or 3 3-points, 6 or 7 free throws. I mean, pretty good line score for him. So.
Yeah, it's really good to get Josiah going because, not having Keaston Willis, it gives opportunity. We need another guard in there at this point of the season, and to get, he's just a sophomore. We need that depth, and so he's got really good energy in his legs, and you could see this tenacity on the defensive end. He runs, he can chase people. It was really nice to see him get some stuff going offensively.
And talk about a thrilling moment for Mr. Radford coming in and draining a three, just tries to get to him.
That's right. It was. We do some different shooting drills, and he's come up big in some of those drills. But it was awesome to see, and what's really great to see is not only the reaction from our fans, but the reaction from his teammates. Of course, he doesn't get in the game all that often, but he's here every day. He shows up to work every day. Was here all summer, and it was awesome to see his teammates cheering for him.
Yeah. Okay. Also, talk a little bit about obviously P.J. Haggerty again. I know you didn't play him. You didn't need to play him the last 14 plus minutes of the game, I believe, because there probably wasn't much point to. He's done what he needed to do. But talk a little bit about how he played. Another good game for him.
Yeah, he got us started. He creates opportunities in the paint, and there's so many different ways that he does it, and the way he can contort his body, the way that he can get downhill. Thought he made some really nice plays, some layups, some finishes. He got to the free throw line, and he just continues to get better and better.
And look at a guy who had 9 rebounds, Matthew Reed. Obviously, he had 9 rebounds. He was pretty active in 12 plus minutes. Just talk about his development.
Well, we've challenged all of our front court players to rebound and really, clean the glass. And we've got to look at these numbers. They got 14 offensive rebounds. Of course, there was a number of missed field goals, but Matt, anytime that you can get, for every 3 minutes played and get a rebound, that's pretty solid. If you're in that 2 range, you're at a really high level. In these last 2 games, he's rebounded at a very high level.
Coach, it seems over the last few games that more freshmen are playing together for extended period of time. Going into conference, is that what you were looking for over this period of time? That to be to this point and going into conference, that they're getting a lot of minutes together?
Yeah, so it's a real test, because if you look across college basketball, you don't see it very often. Many freshmen playing at all, and they practice together a lot. We're down in numbers with injuries and so forth, and so when we play 5-on-5, we have a starting unit, and then we're playing another unit, and they've played pretty well together. So we feel like, hey, let's give them running games as well, and it happens certainly in that first half, maybe in this first part of the second half, and then the lineup will kind of get jumbled based on circumstance. But we believe right now, and that's what this part of the season's all about, is throwing these guys in the fire and seeing what they can do.
Anything else?
Just another thing. Obviously, and along that line, Jared Hall had 7 rebounds, very active, and Tyshawn Archie, 17 points. Obviously a spark plug as usual. So just comment on them as well.
Yeah, they're gaining confidence. Tyshawn in particular, I thought he had a few really good practices coming back, and it's such a good thing to see from freshmen. And from the defensive end and some of the techniques that we're trying to do, I thought he did a nice job of executing the game plan defensively. He's got such wiggle and burst on the offensive end. Got downhill, some of the layups, he dunked the ball on the one. And then, again, Jared Hall, we've talked about rebounding and really challenged our group to contest shots and go rebound the basketball. And to see that in his time out on the floor, I mean, he got 1 every 3 minutes, and that's pretty darn good.
And last question, obviously Memphis coming up, your thoughts?
Well, I know they're really good. I've spent zero time watching them, but I know they're really good. They've got one of the oldest teams in college basketball, and I know they're older than some NBA teams out there. And Coach Hardaway's done a great job with this group. They're off to a really good start, and we've got to have several good practices here leading up to it. But we're excited about getting started in conference play. We talked just briefly to the team that I really look at this in 5 seasons. You have your summer season, your off season, you have the preseason, you have the non-conference season, and all those 3 seasons are over now. And now we enter a conference season, and where everybody starts 0-0 and trying to just pursue and go along that journey. And so excited about getting started.
Okay, great, Coach. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.